Hey everyone, Human Shield 1991 back again with another episode of our PokeThoughts. Now, just another warning ahead of time for those who might have missed the first video. PokeThoughts is a brand new series where, as you'd expect, I give my thoughts and break down news or a specific subject, whatever is relevant or interesting to me regarding Pokemon. Now, the first episode went up, and this is going to be part 2 to that, and the focus is on Pokemon Sword and Shield's expansion pack, or pass, whatever you prefer to call it. Regardless, now, I did have an issue with production of the first episode, and as a result, this one, where the video did not record adequately. So, unfortunately, instead of using my browser to read through the website and give my thoughts, I just have the audio, and instead it's going to be more of a clip show, which is fine. It doesn't really make much of a difference. There might be an occasion here or there where something might not be synced perfectly, but other than that, it should be pretty much the same as if you were watching it originally anyway. Now, for those unaware, I did ramble on a little bit too much for my liking. I was thinking the video was going to be a little shorter than it was, so I did split it into 2 parts. The first part covered the non-Pokemon aspects of the expansion pack, as in not the regional forms, not the new Pokemon, nothing like that. Everything else was covered in that video, while this video is going to focus solely on the new Pokemon and the new forms and the new Gigantamax and all that. So just wanted to let you know ahead of time what this was, what the situation is, and going forward there's going to be more of this series, not just tackling current news, but also other subjects. I have one for Megas versus Z-Moves versus Dynamaxing, for example, is a thought I have. I have one for the National Dex in general and my thoughts on that. Different things like that. And of course, again, news as it comes in. I'm not considering this me breaking the news or me even fully going over the news, just my thoughts on the news, and I will share what I think is relevant. But other than that, I won't waste any more time. Let's just get into the audio. Okay, now here's the exciting part for me. Discovered Pokemon. Now there's a lot to break down here, but newly discovered Pokemon, some of these have been announced previously, but I've never gone over them. I am going to be starting up my exploring the National Dex series, which is going to be kind of similar to this or that, except it's going to be, instead of comparing Pokemon, I'm going to be just looking at individual lines, giving some thoughts, giving some details on them. So if you like this or that, and you like the community aspect, and you like discussing that, hopefully you'll like that series too. That'll be coming in the near future. So for these, it's going to be kind of similar to that, but that's just because they're new, and by the time I get to them anyway, it'll be so long. So let's just get going. Let's look at Kubfu. Kubfu, the Isle of Armor. Kubfu will make an appearance. This Pokemon isn't normally found in the Galar region. Rather, the Kubfu you meet comes from a faraway land. You'll train alongside Kubfu, honing your skills together. The Wushu Pokemon, fighting, 2 feet tall, 26.5 pounds, with the Inner Focus ability. Look at that design. Look at it. It's so cool. So cool. A serious Pokemon dedicated to its training. This Pokemon is hardworking and strives to train both its body and mind. It uses each defeat as motivation, training itself with even more vigor after a loss in order to grow stronger. Has an organ that produces fighting energy in its lower abdomen, and before heading into battle will increase its energy through unique breathing techniques and intense focus. Alright, you can kind of see what that is. It dwells in distant mountains. Wild Kubfu live in a mountain area far away from the Galar region today, but it was once a species that called Galar its home. It's noted in historical texts that the species used to head to uncharted lands with people as they set out to trade or explore. Records suggest that the Kubfu living in faraway mountains today may have descended from Kubfu that came naturalized to the distant lands they visited in their journeys. So I guess the lore here is that Kubfu were originally from Galar, but then they would go out to train, and then they began to live in those places. So now the Kubfu coming to this region is from those areas, but its original home is Galar? I don't know, I might be misunderstanding that. Let me know if you have any ideas, because I'm a little conflicted on that, but either way, I think this is really cool Pokemon. You can definitely see where in the anime and that kind of stuff, they have a lot of potential to do a lot of wacky and fun stuff, but as far as games go, it's cool looking. I enjoyed the design quite a bit. There's not enough, in my opinion, bears and those kind of Pokemon, so that's really cool. That's really cool. And I definitely want to get a big bear in the near future, as that would be great. Just a big whole... I mean, we definitely have some, right? There's Beware and there's Ursaring, but... then there's the Ice type, whose name I'm completely blanking on. Oh, what is his name? Beartic. And I like all those, but I feel like Beware and Beartic, I feel like, are a little too cartoony. I mean, I know they're cartoons, that's the entire point, but I don't know. I kind of want just a hulking, mean-looking bear, kind of like Ursaring, but maybe one on all fours would be kind of cool. But moving on, we have Kung-Fu's evolution, and I'm definitely going to butcher this name, so just be warned about that right now. Urshifu? Urshifu? Kung-Fu will evolve into Urshifu after it has undergone sufficient training. It seems that Urshifu has two forms, a single strike style and a rapid strike style. It appears that each form has different types as well. You get a good look at them right here. I have to say I like the rapid strike style more, based on this design. They're basically the same, but it's just subtle differences I like. Especially, you got looks like long hair, even though it's not really. It's like almost like a headband kind of style here. I don't know, I like that. Pretty cool. They're both Wushu Pokemon. They have the same exact stats. The only difference here is the single strike is fighting in dark, while the rapid strike is fighting in water, which I did not expect. That's really cool of me. Alright, so for the single strike, the fighting dark, a merciless blow. Your Urshifu, I still don't know how to pronounce it. In this form, favor battling without holding anything back. When enraged, they will mercilessly attack an opponent until it is utterly crushed. A single strike style Urshifu's movements are often direct and involve rushing forward in a straight line. It will keep its distance from its opponent at first, only leaping close in an instant to deliver a powerful blow. Then we have Urshifu, the rapid strike style, who again is water, also with the fighting. Furious rapid strikes Urshifu in this form maintain a calm demeanor, observing their opponents and measuring their strength while dodging attacks. Rapid strike style Urshifu, I'll figure it out one of these days, will use flowing movements in battle to smoothly parry an opponent's moves and then overwhelm the opponent with a flurry of rapid strikes. And then with that comes exclusive moves that they can only learn. And apparently they both have G-Max moves, which is kind of cool. I'll get into my Dynamax and those kind of thoughts in a future episode, but single strike style, Yurish, I give up. Its signature move, Wicked Blow. One that has followed the path of darkness can unleash a single severe blow. This move always results in a critical hit, allowing it to attack while ignoring the target's stat changes. It's interesting. Meanwhile, the other one has Surging Strike, and has followed the path of water can unleash the flowing 3-hit combo. This move always results in critical hits, allowing it to attack while ignoring the target stat changes. Wait. So it's basically the same exact move. Okay. Just different typing, probably. And then the ability is Unseen Fist. Unseen Fist is a new ability introduced with this expansion, and one that only single strike style Urshifu and rapid strike style Urshifu have. This ability lets the Pokemon deal damage when it attacks with a move that makes direct contact, even if the target defends itself by using moves like Protect. Huh, that's pretty cool. So it basically goes to Protect. I like that. And it doesn't matter what kind of game you play, the decision is play style, not game based. So that's pretty cool. Overall, now let's take a look at them again. I do really like it. I think it's very cool. I don't even know. Some of the Sword and Shield designs don't even feel like Pokemon, but I don't mean that in a bad way. They're different, but I really do like them quite a bit, and I think this is just a great design. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun. I don't know from a competitive standpoint what people will think of these. Things like Unseen Fist is pretty cool, but I guess without their stats, we can only know so much. Alright, so let's keep looking. That was pretty cool. I'm enjoying these Pokemon. I enjoyed well, I guess it's two, but both of those. This one I'm not going to read off too in detail, but let's just take a quick look. Well, these are the Gigantamax forms, and they are definitely cool. The red and blue contrast nicely. Well, I might as well read it. In this form, Urshifu looks ready to bellow in fury. People call it both the very embodiment of rage and a divine emissary that banishes evil spirits with its fury. Meanwhile, the water type, the anger hidden within in this form, Urshifu will quietly maintain its stance with a calm expression. When facing this Pokemon, it seems someone will become greatly agitated, feeling as if the very depths of their soul have been exposed. Yet others report feeling a sense of relief as they've been cleansed of evil spirits. One blow and rapid flow. So it's just the same moves, but even with Max Guard and Protect. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I definitely like the designs. I'll give a little spoiler because eventually I want to post my thoughts on Gigantamax. While I don't necessarily love the gimmick itself of Dynamaxing, I really love a lot of the designs of these. And I wish there was a way you could keep the designs and use them in future games without having to have the Dynamax or Gigantamax gimmick. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure what to do, but that would be my hope, that they could somehow find a way. I don't know how. I don't know if it's possible, but I think there's some really cool designs, and it's just a shame they're going to be wasted as a one-off gimmick. So that's kind of my thought in that regard. Very cool, though. Very cool. All right, now this one, Calyrex. Oh boy, I'm not good with these names. I clearly should have done more research, but I don't even know if the pronunciation's really out there yet. Anyway, in the Crown Tundra, you'll encounter Calyrex, the Pokemon whose image you'll find on packaging for the Pokemon Sword expansion pack. Okay. King Pokemon, Psychic and Grass, 3'7", 17 pounds with the ability Unnerve. I saw a lot of people dunking on this when it was first shown. I thought it was really cool looking. I realize now, in retrospect, why maybe people dunked on it a little bit. Kind of looks like it should have 4 legs and maybe be similar to, I don't know, like a goat of that kind of body, instead of the 2 goofy long legs. But other than that, I do really like it. I like its bulbous head. I like its crown. I like all that. So I'm interested in how it ends up being. A noble leader, this Pokemon ruled all of Galar in ancient times. Though it appears delicate and slight, its every move is filled with grace and dignity. It also has extremely high intelligence and is said to see every past, present, and future event. Okay, I feel like a lot of Pokemon fit that bill at this point. It's like every legendary, they've got to up it. But yeah, not a ton of information. It's not coming to the first DLC coming later this month, so more information will probably be made later on, but I still really like it. And of course, let me know what you're thinking, as you're watching this and as you're listening to me babble on. Tell me your thoughts on each Pokemon. You can do it in one big post, you can do it in multiple comments. Let me know. Alright, now here's something I'm very, very excited to get into. Regieleki, the Electron Pokemon. Electric, 3'11", 319 pounds, ability Transistor. Look at it, we have another 2 Regis, and I'm so glad. I was worried they were going to be like just forms, but no, we have legendary forms coming with something else, which is great. But these are brand new Regis, and that's awesome. A body with a bottomless supply of electricity. This Pokemon absorbs electrons that live. Electrical energy makes up most of its body. Its electric-type moves are said to pack the greatest power of any used by electric-type Pokemon. So that's definitely a big sell. Strength restrained by special equipment. Researchers have determined that Regieleki's body is fitted with what appears to be special insulating equipment that does not conduct electricity. Some theorize that in ancient times people tormented by Regieleki fitted the equipment on the Pokemon to restrain its power. Regieleki's signature move, Thunder Cage. Oh boy. This is WCW. In this electric-type special move, the Pokemon fires furious bolts of electricity from its lower half, trapping opponents directly below it in a cage of lightning. Thunder Cage doesn't only deal damage to its opponents when it lands, but also cause them to be trapped within an electrified cage, causing damage every turn for 4 to 5 turns, and preventing them from fleeing or being swapped out. Wow, that is very cool. So it's kind of like an intense version of Whirlpool or something to that effect. I really like that. I didn't read the move before, because obviously I looked at the trailer and I did a little skimming, but wow, that's very cool. Very, very cool, man. Alright, I like this a lot. Design-wise, it's pretty cool, too. It's, it's weird, it's out there, but I like it. Alright, next up we have Regidrago. That's right, we have a Dragon Regi now. Dragon or Pokemon Dragon, 6'11", 440 pounds, Dragon's Maw. Look at that thing. Look at it. That is so sick. Oh, I love it. A cluster of dragon energy. Regidrago's body is composed of crystallized dragon energy. The energy Is densest in its central core. Thanks to its body composition, Regidrago can use Dragon-type moves with greater power than other Pokemon. The Sealed Regidrago. Folklore tells that the legendary Pokemon Regigigas tried to create a Pokemon from crystallized dragon energy but ran out of crystals and was only able to complete the head. People of old feared that if Regidrago were to be completed, it would rain destruction on the land, so they sealed it away within a temple. That's interesting. I love the lore. I like the lore almost as much as anything else. I'm definitely more of a lore and in-game player as opposed to a competitive player. In case that wasn't abundantly clear from my Showdown battles. I'm not a great competitive player. Regidrago's signature move, Dragon Energy. This Pokemon assumes a shape similar to a dragon's head, then fires intense dragon energy from its mouth. The more HP the user has remaining, the higher the move's power. It's kind of an interesting little gimmick there. I wonder how that would actually work. So if something's full health, it's going to do more damage, obviously, but if something's low health, will do almost nothing. Could you not kill with it? Because it kind of by default does less damage when something's less if it still kills. I don't know. Either way, I love it. I love its design. I think it's definitely the cooler of the two, but I like both a lot. Alright, so that's very cool. We're going to take a quick look at the Gigantamax forms, but I'm not going to go through everything because this has been out there for a while. Here's the Gigantamax Rillaboom. Definitely cool. Mega drum set. 91 feet. That's ridiculous. Pretty cool. Drum solos, its move. Can ignore any effects of the target's ability. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. Again, I'm not the hugest fan of the, metagame with the Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing, so I might not be as excited for these parts as everyone else. And then you have the 88 feet for Cinderace, and I like that little design where it's like almost like kind of looks like a bird head on fire. At least to me, that's what it looks like. And then it has G-Max Fireball. Same effect, basically, as the other move. It does look very damaging, though, which is cool. It looks really intense. And then lastly, who I think is the most underrated of the three, Inteleon. Of the regular forms, not necessarily this one, although the Sniper is pretty cool. That's tail turned into a big sniper post. 131 feet. So absurd. And its move is, I'm guessing, going to be the same thing. Yeah, it ignores the ability. Still very cool. If you're into those kind of things, then I think you'll definitely like them. At least I like the designs. I would like to see those designs again, but oh well. Now I will go over these Gigantamax forms because they are newer. First, there's Gigantamax VENUSAUR. Look at that thing. 78 feet tall, grass poison, unknown weight. A massive blossom covers the Pokemon's body. The power of Gigantamaxing has made Venusaur's flower bloom so large that it covers the Pokemon's body. The flower petals are extremely thick and springy enough to repel half-hearted attacks. During battle, the Pokemon uses these petals as a shield and swings its two thick vines around to attack its target. Enormous amounts of pollen erupt from its blossom. The flower on the Pokemon's back spews so much pollen that it resembles a volcanic eruption. Inhaling the pollen can cause uncontrollable sneezing and breathing, and too much of it can even cause fainting. However, the pollen also stimulates plant growth. Places where the pollen falls are said to grow thick with large plants. G-Max Vine Lash. Grass-type moves used by Gigantamax Venusaur will change to G-Max Vine Lash. It doesn't just deal damage to an opponent when it hits, it will continue to deal damage for 4 turns to any Pokemon that isn't grass-type. It's interesting. I like the design. It's kind of cool. It almost looks like it would be super defensive, just like as an extra layer of protection. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I do think Bulbasaur is the coolest starter of the first 3. I'm not sure if it's the coolest Gigantamax. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to give that some thought and time. Then there's Gigantamax Blastoise, who is just absurd. I love it. Look at that. Alright. 82 feet tall, No, wait, no. An extra-large shell with extra-large water cannons. Blastoise shell has grown to match its body, and it boasts extra-large water cannons as well. GIGANTAMAX Blastoise can adapt to different situations by using different combinations of his 31 various-sized cannons. 31. In battle, it doesn't bother to aim. Instead, it fires dynamic, powerful torrents from multiple cannons to overwhelm opponents. Well, if you have 31 cannons, that probably makes sense. The super powerful main cannon. The main cannon in the center of Blastoise shell is staggeringly powerful. Legend says this cannon has blasted holes into mountains. GIGANTAMAX Blastoise can also move the 12 large cannons surrounding its central cannon independently, letting it orient its attack in any direction, whether toward the ground or the sky. So it can aim, it just chooses not to. Water types. Okay, any water type can turn into Cannonade. Doesn't just deal an opponent when it hits, it will continue to deal damage for 4 turns to any Pokemon that isn't water type. Cool, cool. That's a pretty cool design right there. Man, that is a really cool design. I don't know. I don't know what's my favorite. Obviously the Charizard one's pretty cool too, but I don't know. Alright, now after that, I'm going to skip that one because that is my favorite. And I'm going to look at the Galarian Slowpoke and Galarian SLOWBRO. Regional forms of certain Pokemon are found in Galar. These forms have adapted to the unique environment of the Galar region and look different than the same species might look when found in other regions. These adapted forms are known as the Galarian forms of the Pokemon, and since their behavior also differs that of their species' previously discovered forms. Now, Galarian Slowpoke, everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people have this already. The Dobby Pokemon, Psychic, 3'11", 79 pounds, Gluttony, Own Temple. Not a huge change design-wise, just a little yellow. I think that's it actually, maybe. Just the yellow. But I do find it interesting and adorable, so I'm going to read it off anyway. The alluring Galarica spice, the Slowpoke of the Galar region used to eat the seeds of a certain plant that grew in their habitat. As this was their favorite food, these seeds were in fact Galarica seeds used to this day as an essential spice for cooking. The Slowpoke and Galar built up particles of the spice in their bodies over several generations, eventually gaining the unique appearance and behavior they are known for today. Days spent zoning out. Galarian Slowpoke spends their days wallowing on seashores and riverbanks without thinking about anything in particular. That is the dream right there. Once in a while, they might get a very sharp look in their eye, but they will soon revert back to their zoned-out expression. I saw that this behavior is caused by the accumulated Galarica particles stimulating Galarian Slowpoke's brain, resulting in it thinking of something tremendous, only for the Galarian Slowpoke to immediately forget what it just had thought of. And there is going to be, by the way, a Slowking, but the design hasn't been completely released yet. No information has come out. That's going to be for the Crown Tundra. Galarian SLOWBRO. Okay, this is the new guy. Let's get a good look at him. The Hermit Crab Pokemon, Poison and Psychic, 5'3", 155.4 pounds, with Quick Draw. Now, I like this a lot. It's different, but it's not so dramatically different. You know, it makes sense as original form. You have a different coloring, just like animals would. And then you have this. I love it. It's so funny to me. It gained the poison type from the shock of Shelter's bite. A Shelter bite sets off a chemical reaction with the spices inside Galarian Slowpoke's body, causing Galarian SLOWBRO to gain the poison type. The Shelter sometimes unconsciously bites down harder on SLOWBRO's arm, causing an itch that drives SLOWBRO to start swinging its arm around indiscriminately and smashing its surroundings. This makes Galarian SLOWBRO a highly dangerous Pokemon. Beat strong Pokemons to the draw. Although this Pokemon is normally zoned out, facing off against strong opponents activates the stimulants in its body, sending them coursing through its nervous system and delivering a jolt. When this happens, SLOWBRO's expression sharpens. With a speed that puts even the quickest reflexes to shame, SLOWBRO readies its shoulder and makes poisonous liquid shoot from the shoulder's tip. And Galarian SLOWBRO's signature move, Shell Sidearm. Shell Sidearm is a poison-type special move in which the Pokemon fires poisonous liquid from the tip of the shoulder attached to its arm. This move may poison the target. Moreover, it inflicts either physical or special damage depending on which will damage the target more. That is an incredibly interesting move. So instead of having a physical move or a special move, it basically has both, whatever will be more effective. That is really interesting. And I like how it's basically a gun. It's kind of a cool concept, a poison shooter out of, I guess it would be Shelter's butt? I don't know, but regardless, I love it. I love its design. I love that it goes from derpy to angry derpy. Very cool. Very, very cool. Alright, now again, I am going to skip just a little past that. Pokemon that didn't appear will be joining. I don't have the list, but it's on Cerebi.net, so they have a list of Pokemon that we know so far will be introduced back into the game. It's not going to be the 400 or however that are missing. I think right now, so far that they've seen, there's a count of 120 to 150. So it's going to be, assuming there's more than that, assuming it's closer to 150 to 200, it's going to be about half of what's missing. So it's not going to completely finish the national dex, but it's a step forward. And hopefully it does mean that in the future they'll have another update with the remaining Pokemon. I know it's been long contested whether, it should happen, it shouldn't happen, it's going to happen, it won't happen. And I'm not going to get into a big national dex debate here, although you can feel free to if you really want. Ultimately, my take is I would love to see them added as DLC, just like these ones are, where if you get the DLC, they're there. If you don't get the DLC, you can still trade or transfer them over from Pokemon Home. That seems to be a nice way to get around it and make everybody happy. Or at least more happy, hopefully. I don't know. Alright, now it's time for the main ones. This is the thing I've been waiting for. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Legendary Pokemon bearing strong resemblances to Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres have been spotted in the Crown Tundra. These Pokemon seem to bear Ice-type, Electric-type, and Fire-type characteristics respectively, and so were previously thought to be the same as the Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres seen in other regions. But recently, data gathered from reported sightings and other sources about the Pokemon have bolstered the theory that they are in fact distinct variants. That's right. We are getting regional forms for legendaries, and I absolutely love them. Let's start with Articuno, who is my personal favorite of the original three. Galarian Articuno, the cruel Pokemon, psychic, flying, 5'7", 122 pounds, ability competitive. First of all, let's just look at the design for a second. It takes more of a purple color, which makes sense with the psychic. Very cool. Very cool. A cruel, arrogant, legendary Pokemon. Once every several decades, this migratory Pokemon appears in the Crown Tundra. For a long time, it was thought to be the same as legendary Pokemon as the Articuno previously discovered in other regions. Though cold and callous in personality, it moves in a highly refined manner, keeps itself airborne through constant use of its psychic powers, almost never flapping its wings. Freezing psychic power. This Pokemon battles using intense psychic powers that act directly on the cells of living beings. The beams of psychic energy fired from its eyes have a particularly potent effect. The slightest touch of these beams leave the victim totally immobilized as if frozen. The Pokemon finishes off immobilizing opponents using the condensed psychic powers of its wings. And Galarian Articuno's signature move is Freezing Glare. Freezing Glare is a psychic-type special move in which the Pokemon attacks by firing psychic power from both eyes. This move will also leave the target frozen. So a psychic move that does frozen. Wow. Okay. Look at that. That is intense. I like it. I like it a lot. I am surprised that they didn't... I don't know. I guess I'm not shocked. In my head, I thought they were going to keep the ice typing, but it wouldn't make sense to lose the flying typing, so... And they're not going to go for tri-typing anytime soon. Although I do feel like that's inevitably going to come at some point. Alright, now let's take a look at Galarian Zapdos. Strong legs Pokemon, fighting flying, 5'3", 328 pounds with the Defiant ability. There's the design. Definitely looks more like a land kind of Pokemon, like a giant ostrich or something to that effect. Maybe not an ostrich, but you get the idea. Legendary Pokemon that loves battling mighty opponents. Once every several decades, this migratory Pokemon appears in the Crown Tundra. For a long time, it's thought to be the same legendary Pokemon as Zapdos previously discovered in other regions. This belligerent, battle-hungry Pokemon seems unable to resist challenging Pokemon it senses may be stronger than itself. Lightning that strikes from stone walls. In battle, this Pokemon overwhelms opponents with speedy movements and ferocious kicks using its naturally mighty legs. When it leaps down cliffs and rocky mountainside in high-speed zigzag movements, it's said to resemble a bolt of lightning. However, its wings seem to have I don't know how to pronounce it. Atrophy, basically. Atrophied? Atrophied? Maybe that's it. And it appears to be a poor flyer. And again, it's fighting flying, so. Galarian's ZAPDOS signature move, Thunderous Kick. In this fighting physical move, the Pokemon overwhelms the target with lightning-like movement before delivering a kick. This also lowers the target's defense stat. That was cool looking though, right there. That is a very cool image. Very cool. Alright, and the last new Pokemon that we know of, Galarian MOLTRES. The malevolent Pokemon, dark flying, 6 foot 745 pounds with the Berserk ability. Legendary Pokemon that lets nothing get close. Once every several decades, this migratory Pokemon appears in the Crown Tundra. For a long time, it was thought to be the same legendary Pokemon as the Moltres previously discovered in other regions. Has a haughty personality and conducts itself calmly according to its own whims. An aura like a blazing pillar of fire. It exudes the energy churning within its body as an aura akin to a column of raging fire, leaving ordinary Pokemon unable to even approach it. It is especially skilled at attacking Pokemon's mind by spreading its wings wide and unleashing a wicked aura. Opponents hit by such attacks are overcome with deep fatigue as if all their energy had burned away. Fiery Wrath. In this Dark-type special move, the Pokemon transforms its Wrath into a fire-like aura to attack. It may also make the opposing Pokemon flinch. Interesting. I was kind of expecting for ZAPDOS to paralyze and for Moltres to burn, just like Articuno froze. So it's interesting they went a different route with that. Very cool. Definitely a cool Pokemon. Very wicked looking. I don't know what my favorite of the three are, to be honest with you. That's tough. That is tough to say. I think if push comes to shove, I like Articuno the most, and maybe Moltres the second most, but I do like all three, and it might change from time to time. Anyway, that's all the new Pokemon. Okay, guys, that's the video. Thanks again for checking it out. Sorry again about having to splice the footage together and separating stuff, and it was kind of a pain. It was definitely a lot of time put in just to do that because the original video did not end up going as it was supposed to, but I do hope you enjoyed it. I definitely love these new Pokemon. I love these new forms. I think the Legendary Trio look amazing. Articuno and Moltres especially, but I do really like ZAPDOS as well. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on every new Pokemon, new form, everything that you like about it, everything you don't like about it. If you don't, that's cool too. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure to hit a thumbs up, and that should do it. Follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1981, and thanks again so much for watching. Hopefully we'll keep PokeThoughts going in the future. Later.